Market moves coming at you. I may have found the greatest marijuana stock on the market. Stay tuned. This is super exciting. But first, before I tell you the greatest marijuana stock, I just want to remind you, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it. Content comes out daily, and I've been putting out videos on the marijuana market for the past 2 weeks. They're all in a playlist to the top right-hand corner. Check out the playlist. You'll see all the videos on the marijuana stocks from Tilray to Aurora to New Bev to CGC to Afria to Cron to TGOD. And then now we're going to announce the greatest marijuana stock I have found in all of my searchings, all of my videos, and that stock is Canntrust. This is a great opportunity in my opinion, and I'm going to explain it to you all in this video, and we're going to dive into everything the stock offers and everything that's on the investor website. So if you know me, you know I go to the website and then I hit that investor relations button, and that is going to send me to all the information I need to evaluate this stock and see if it's a great long-term or short-term investment. So this stock is called Canntrust. It is traded as Cnttf. That's the American US stock, and then the Canadian stock ticker, not too sure. But this website has a conference call you can look at, and I'm going to listen to that later today. But what I did do is I went down here and I went to the investor presentation. This is the best way to overview the website and the stock and understand what's happening with it. So here is the presentation. We're going to go through it all, understanding what this stock offers and how it's going to be the leader in 10 years from now. So as I scroll down, I see the biggest thing here is that it has its foot in every door. This is what I want to see. They're in the beverage market, they're in the pet market, they're in the just marijuana producing recreational market, and then they're in the medical market. And this is what I love to see with companies, is diversification. So if one product takes off, all the rest can be lifted as well. Think about it, as the water is rising, all the boats in the water rise. So when I scroll down through this company, it shows the products, and from what I've seen on every site is the products just look great from every company. There's really no telling one product's worse than the other from just a look standpoint. And that's important, because if you're going to the store, you want it to pop. You want to take it off the shelf first and you want to check it out. Be interested from the looks. And this does not delay people from that. These looks look great, and if you're in a store, I would be attracted to these colors. So that's just one thing I check out. It might not mean a lot, but it is something the consumer does find, and that is something that's going to help the stock and the company long term. So down here is where all our ventures are, and you can see they're in Denmark, Australia, Germany, Netherlands, and they have Canada, obviously. They have one big hub right near Ontario. So all of these partnerships and ventures tell me one thing. They tell me that they can distribute to these places easily, they can get into these places easily, and then if they have hubs to grow, then they can ship and get to people faster. So that's huge, and I think that is what is going on here. If you look down here with their ventures and partnerships, you can see with Germany, they have a partnership with one of the largest pharmaceutical distributors in the country. So down here in Germany, they are partnered with the largest distributors. So that's going to help them get products into all these doors and be one of the leaders in Germany. And if they can develop footholds in a lot of these countries, they can keep it and build trust and then grow from there. Because if you think about it, as more people use it, it just goes out. And then eventually all these other countries are going to know about the product. They're going to be looking for it in the pharmacies, and that's going to help them. So the other partnerships and ventures they have the license to produce and sell medical cannabis in Australia. That's pretty huge. A lot of people are heading to Australia. Seems like a popular place where probably the legalization process is not that tough to get around, and all the rules and regulations, you know. So Netherlands, they export and JV partnerships for local cultivation. That doesn't seem that huge, but it's something. And then Denmark, they have a joint venture with Cnttf to produce and sell medical cannabis. So it seems like Cnttf is in Denmark and they're doing their thing. So they're just hooking up with them to ride their coattails and produce and sell medical cannabis with them. So this is I want to say right now, this is a small company, so none of this may seem impressive, but when you look at the numbers and the possibility of growth or possibility of a takeover, this company is huge in my mind, because what they're doing is they have products in every category, and they have small partnerships they're developing, small ventures, and they have small numbers, and the upside is unlimited right here. And then the reflections on the price and the reflections on the metrics of financials are very reasonable. It's a very cheap stock to buy. I'm going to show you that in a second. And then this part's huge too. They have distribution to 115 countries globally with this partnership with Apotex. And this is another reason why the companies need to do stuff like this, because if you can get into these countries and just be able to ship to them, that's huge in the long term. So I'm glad I'm seeing connections like this being made. And then we're going to scroll down here to the most important part. They're one of the few companies producing CBD or marijuana products for pets. And this is huge because the market size for this looks to be around $16 billion, and I don't see any other companies doing this. So what they're doing is they're being one of the first to get into this category, makes them a possibility for a takeover. So honestly, as a possibility of a takeover increases, my interest in the company long-term or short-term increases as well. So the viability to make money on this investment increases when they have the ability to get into these categories and be the first, and then be a huge candidate for a takeover. So I'm going to scroll down to the last thing, is just all of their products are right here and they look great. Like I said, they're into everything. As you can see, they have CBD beverages, CBD water, they have CBD tea, energy, and they have coffee. That is so cool. They have CBD coffee caps right here. This is Brew Buds. This is so cool. It's a K-cup, but it's marijuana coffee. And that is something new that's being sold in the US market right now. So like I said, Brew Buds right here, they are everywhere. They're in every category, and that is just so exciting to me. And then the numbers just make sense. The numbers look good, and I'm going to get to those right now. Look at this slide right here. You can see the numbers. Their revenue has been slowly increasing each quarter. It went from $6 million to $9 million. So let's say next year they bring in $60 million. That would put their price to sales at 8.33333. So that's the lowest price to sales I can find on the marijuana market. We'll check that out right now. I'll show you. Basically, price to sales is how I've been valuing these companies, because they're too early to use price to earnings, and price to sales uses the raw metric of revenue, and it uses the other metric of market cap. So those are the two basic metrics that you can combine and then compare the whole industry instantly. So Tilray, ACB, CGC are all in the hundreds, and we have Cron at 138, but Canntrust Holdings is at 20 right now, with the possibility of going to 8 next year if they just increase by, let's say, 50%. That's nothing, especially in this market with what they can do. So the upside to this is huge. And if I go to the market cap, you can see that we're under $1 billion for what the company is valued at. So we're at 500 million, at $500 million, which means the upside again is there. The upside could be 2 billion one day, which would be a 4x from here. The upside could be 6 billion, which would be a 12x from here in price. So with the fact that the market cap and the price to sales is so low, and then if I go here to the next thing, we have shares outstanding also being low at 100 million. The fact that these two are so low means that the upside is very possible for this stock. And for you to protect your investment, this is the best way right here. To have a low market cap, good products, good plan, everything set, and you have good numbers coming out, and then you have good metrics. So this company has it all, in my opinion, and I love it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to the first I want to show you the growing capacity, but next I want to go to the actual numbers that came out last quarter. So growing capacity, we have, where are we at? We have Canntrust at 100 kilograms a year. So that puts it in the top 10 of all the companies that are publicly traded. And then we're going to head to the numbers that are actually coming out to see what's happening with the company currently. But first, I want to just go over one more thing with the PowerPoint, is that the sales of kilograms are almost 100K a quarter, which is about half of what the big players are doing. So the big players like Tilray and Cron, and we also have ACB. ACB and Tilray are putting out 2,000 kilograms a quarter, almost 3,000. So that puts them at about 2 times more than this company. And this company is not even traded at anywhere near the market cap or the valuation that those other companies are. So that's the huge thing, is that they're not valued at those other companies, but they're catching up to those bigger companies in terms of what they can sell each quarter. And I'm going to go back to that PowerPoint. They also have patients increasing, so that's the medical side. And then average sales per gram is around $8 to $7. So that's a perfect range. But I'm just amazed that they're producing less than Tilray, Cron, all those companies, but they're selling more in terms of the percentage. So that is efficient. That's what I like to see. And then now we're just going to head into the numbers and see what's happening. So like I said, this company looks great from every standpoint, and this is the last piece of evidence I'm going to look at today, and we're going to see if this all adds up from a number standpoint. And the first thing I see on the balance sheet with assets and liabilities is that the assets current are huge. We have 153 million. So this is Canadian, but 153 million. Total assets, 211 million. And then down here with current liabilities, only 8 million. So they're not leveraged at all. They don't have a lot of debt to pay off each quarter. They can sustain this business very easily, and they're not overextending themselves. And then down here we have 23 for total liabilities, 23 million. So that's about 1/10 of the total assets. And then shareholders' equity, it did increase, unfortunately. We did only have 70 million, and now we're at 187 million. So they did increase the number of shares this quarter, and I don't know where that exactly went. I have to look into that, but the shares did double. So that does drop the valuation, it does double the valuation, unfortunately. And now we're just going to check out revenue. I'm going to zoom this guy in, and we can see revenue for the 3 months ending in September 30th. So that's from now till back then. We brought in $12 million, and then the 9 months ending that year, we brought in about 30 million, which is almost triple last year, and then this is double last year for the 3 months. So we're doubling and tripling things very quickly, very easily. And let's check out expenses. Are they spending a lot of money? Basically, the expenses doubled with the revenue. So that's okay. As long as the expenses aren't outpacing the revenue, that they're going to be fine. So this happened for the whole year. We had triple the expenses and then triple the revenue. So they're coming in line, but they also had to spend a lot of money to advertise when Canada went fully legalized. So I heard the news with that. I saw a lot of articles talking about the money they had to put into marketing and promotion. They put in about $1 million for that. And then general administration, they just have to get a lot more people on board, and they have to hire a lot more people. So that number's not going to go down, unfortunately. But we're just going to finish up with the last thing, is that this is a little nervous, but nothing like what happened with Aurora. Aurora issued about 500,000 shares to make acquisitions, and this company issued about 100 million to make acquisitions. So they almost doubled their shares. Aurora doubled their shares. So I don't like to see that long term. I want to see this stop. So this is one thing that kind of throws me off with the company. One thing I'm going to be watching with the next financial reports. But overall, from the numbers, from the metrics, from the company overview, this looks like a great company. Cnttf, Canntrust, and I think it's going to be the leader one day, or it's going to be taken over or bought. And I do think this is a huge possibility with this company. I do like everything it's involved in, and I am excited about it. So please share this video if you did like it, and hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. This is Market Move signing off. Peace. For more information on the Market Mover Indicator, free consultation talks, and courses, head to the website marketmovesmatt.com. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out the latest and popular videos I have uploaded.